What is the deal with the recent crusade against all things rainbow and LGBT in the US? Obviously there are countries in the world where being gay has always been unwelcome and even punishable, but for some reason it seems to me that it became socially way more acceptable to be openly anti-LGBT in the US. I see way more posts about boycotting companies and organizations who are pro-LGBT in the US. Additionally, there seems to be a noticeable increase in anti-LGBT legislation. Is this increased intolerance and hatred really recent, and if so, how did it become once again so acceptable? Answer. The political right wing in the United States has been organized around a politics of scapegoating minorities for 70 years or more. There's a point at which the two major parties switched their wing orientations in the 1960s, but the same core principles have been the backbone of the right wing in the US for its entire existence. A natural hierarchy. A perpetual representation of their supposed victimhood. An appeal to law and order to redress the supposed grievance. An induction of sexual anxiety. In years past, these were enacted on ethnic minorities, especially and primarily at African Americans. Today, a politics of othering, scapegoating, and persecuting ethnic minorities is no longer politically viable, because society has moved its perception to the point that we now understand that persecution of individuals or groups based on ethnicity is not just hostile, rude, and immoral, but also criminal and outright wrong. So to maintain their political power and influence, they've taken that playbook and turned it to the next page. A moral panic of Sodom and Gomorrah. It should be noted that none of this is new, it's been in development for decades, and was aimed at lesbians and gay men in the 1970s and especially during the AIDS crisis of the 1980s. But the bigots feel they can get a wedge into society and the law by aiming their bigoted behavior and rhetoric at transgender people.